So everybody has a start of how their life lead them to the world of gaming. My life started with gaming. Like since the day I remember, I was into video games. I was into games, all sort of. The first console that I had, that we had, me and my two brothers, it was the Sega console. I'm not really familiar with the name. I forgot the name. I really had so much fun time playing that game, that console. It is still till today my favorite console. It was not just like a normal console for me. It was almost so complicated for me, and right now that I'm thinking about it, I have no idea how in that age I was playing with Sega. And I remember my very first game that I was allowed and not allowed to play was Mortal Kombat. I remember that my father bought Mortal Kombat for us, and I remember me and my brothers, we all gathered to play that game. I was a kid, I was really young. I remember that my older brother was not home, so me and my other brother was actually allowed to play the game. And I remember that there was so many characters, a lot of them. And I remember that how interesting it was for me, because it was a fighting game. It had so many characters with so many different abilities, and it was just really amazing. I remember that I really wanted to play that game, but I was never allowed, because my mother thinks it was really violent for me in that age, because I remember if I was 5, I think I was 4 or 5. I remember that I was not allowed to play. I remember one time I grabbed the Sega console and my mom didn't want me to play that game because it was too violent, and I remember that she took the controllers and didn't allow me to play. And I remember I was just like, okay, fine. I went ahead, turned on the console, put the game in. It was just big thingies. I put the game in and I just started watching these characters fight with each other. And my mother see that, you know, she can't really force me to not to play this game, so she just gave out and gave me the controller, and I would start playing. That was the best memory I had from that console. And we were not really playing so much Sega, because we always had that problem that our controllers were broken. The controller was really easy to break. It was not so strong like the DualShock 4 or Xbox One controller. They were so soft, you could just break them easily, really easily. And they were always broken, always, and we always upset that why we can't get any new controls. New controls were expensive, and my father usually just fixed them, opened them and fixed them, but sometimes time passed and he really couldn't fix it anymore. In those times we were allowed, all of the 3 of us were allowed to play with Sega. But I remember my cousins, they had these like they had PC, and we didn't. And it was such a big deal in that moment, because PC were like, you could play so many beautiful games. Now you go back and play those games, they are pretty crap. I remember that the game that I was me and all my brothers were in love with it, and every time we go to see our cousins, we jump into the PC and don't allow them to play with their own PC, and we just play that game with Need for Speed, and it was really awesome. And I remember time passed and passed and passed, and my older brother really needed a PC, so we finally bought this PC. And I remember that I waked up and I went to room, I saw like everybody there standing looking at the PC, and there was a guy who came our home to fix the PC for us because it was our first time. And I remember I was so little that the whole PC and everything was huge for me. Like, I see this big ass case with big ass keyboard with a big ass monitor, everything was so big, and I was like really confused with how this works. It made me really confused at first, but we were not so confused because we always played PC when we went out to see our cousins. We went to their house and used their PC, so we were a little bit familiar with it. But sadly, I was never allowed to even get close to PC, because in those times it was really expensive. PC were really expensive and really scary, because, well, I remember in those times the window that we had in our PC was Windows XP. It was XP. And I remember that it was really a new thing, and all of us in our family was scared of somehow we break it or somehow crash it, and we had no idea how we're gonna fix it. So we were always scared of somehow broken. And I remember that the very first game that my brother himself installed on his PC and started playing was Hitman. That's why I freaking love Hitman. In that time, I was not allowed to like play the game, so I was always allowed to stand next to them and watch them play. So that gave me the advantage of seeing what they are doing, looking at their hands, see what they are doing, and see what keyboard does what. Like I sit next to them and see them play for so many times that I was like, do this, do that. I wanted to tell them, but they were just like, they were not allowed. I just allowed to sit there and look at them. I was not even able to talk. They were really mean to me. And I remember my brother worked his ass off playing Hitman. My biggest fun was me sitting in the end of the room watching my cousins and my brothers play with PC, work together, have fun, play scary games, and scream and laughing and all. I was just allowed to sit in the end of the room and just watch them. Not sometimes I was not even allowed to watch the game. I was just allowed to watch them. I was not allowed. So in that time, it was really unfair because no one would come and play with me and my toys. Like I was so bored, I couldn't do anything. My toys were not fun anymore because there was a huge ass computer in the other room, and my brothers had so much fun playing Hitman, Counter-Strike, and games like that. That was this. Till I finally couldn't. I couldn't just sit back and allow them play with PC and I can. So I planned this. So my brothers and my cousins, they keep being awake for hours and hours. Like I remember it was 2 a.m. in the morning and they were still awake, and it made them so much tired that they sleep till 11 or 12 p.m. in the morning, in the noon, so it gave me the advantage to sleep early and wake up early. So when I wake up early, they were all asleep, and I turned on the PC because I knew how to turn it on, how to go to the games, how to play the games, because I was sitting next to my brothers and my cousin and everything, and just see every single thing that what key does what, and I was just like, go there, open the game. I remember that it was the first game I played on PC was Counter-Strike. I remember that I went to Counter-Strike, I turned on the level of the volume, and I just started playing Counter-Strike. So yeah, that was it. So for now, I'll tell you guys the rest in the next video. I really hope you guys enjoyed my story and how I become a gamer. It is a lot to say, seriously. Till now, I still have so many fun memories that tell you guys, and I'm really excited to tell you guys. And I believe you guys like it too, because everybody's story is fun to hear, at least for me. I don't know you guys, but it is really fun for me as well to tell you guys these. And yeah, so if you guys want me to tell you guys about more stories, I will, surely. I would love to. And that was it. Thank you all so much for watching. Like this video if you enjoy, or subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.